Greetings, mortals, and welcome to Arctole protecting the sanctity of his throat by not doing his extremely abrasive intro. So, today I am going to first apologize for not streaming more, but I am basically going through a lot of life changes now, and I haven't really been in an optimal position to get a lot of streaming done. I have, however, been getting quite a lot of writing done, and I have been busy with other things as well. Let's see. So the last time I streamed, I was doing a quick startup with Vijayanagar to get a good idea of how the stuff works. Now, I'm much further now, and you would think, well, why didn't you just stream all this progress? This progress has been made in a very distracted manner while doing stuff with my wife and other, this has not been a focus. So, we've taken control of most of the Madagascar region. That whole trade region is actually under our control, except for a couple little islands now, I think. So that section has been working out pretty much perfectly. In addition, we now have control of most of the Cape of Good Hope, and we are starting to take control of the Ivory Coast. You'll note the one little province that we have here, as well as the Congo, which is our vassal. So it's going to, at some point in the game, be tempting for you to... so I'm going to first of all go through, again, the details on what it is that I'm trying to accomplish here. So the goal here is, with the current way that the state system works, if you look at... It should be, yes. Okay, if you look here, I can have a total of 56 states, right? Well, 56 things that can become states. That is to say, I can have 28 states and then 28 territories before I start going into the, corruption situation. So it might not seem like I'm terribly close to that, but as soon as I get Golconda... and where's my state map? I think states are areas. So once I have Golconda, that's going to add another 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, this isn't added because I already have one province here. I have one province here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 5 question. Yes. So I'm going to have another 5 states that are being added just from this. And then when I start integrating Bengal, eventually, I might not do Bengal anytime soon, though. I might actually do Idar sooner than that. Kaz, when we were talking about those states... One of the states is Bidar, and there's a country called Idar that I forgot about. I'm a dope. Me and my wife were basically quizzing ourselves on our knowledge of current Asian states, and I didn't make the easy connection here. Though I did know more of the states, or was able to figure out more of the states than I anticipated based off of just knowing these names and things like that. I even got Tripura, I think it's Tripura, yeah. I even got Tripura because I remembered that I remembered it being here, and that's one of the current states of India. Anyway, so the it turns out it's not a nation, though. Is it? Was it a nation? Yes, it was. It just isn't now. Okay, perfect. That makes me even feel even better. So it wasn't just a name I saw on the map at one point. So the basic gist is right now we're currently in the war with Jaunpur. I wasn't intending to... ended in the middle of a war and then started in the middle of a war, but that's what's going on. We're currently taking back a bunch of Bengal's cores from Jaunpur, all that good jazz. We are also going to be taking Daman from them, and we're basically just mowing through everyone in India at this point. Everyone in India is food for us. Nobody's been able to get big. Jaunpur was the biggest nation in here, and we actually managed to get in on them when they had an ally who was too far in debt, so we just basically blew through them like butter. We haven't even fought any battles. Our vassals have fought a couple of battles and lost them, but it wasn't even worth it for me because I have such a massive amount of territory that's controlled by vassals. This is under represented component of vassals, by the way, is that if you have vassal territory between you and your enemies, they are the ones who have to deal with the war exhaustion, not you. And that's important because war exhaustion for you is going to cause much bigger problems and is much more difficult to manage than the war exhaustion in a smaller nation, right? So anyway, that's just something that's a meaningful component. So as an example, these guys don't have any new territory. They don't have any new conquests that they're taking. They're not going to have any separatist rebels because of all the war exhaustion that they're going to accumulate while I just go ham through Jaunpur. But anyway, the things that you need to worry about at the beginning of the game generally are you have to worry about reaching the point where your vassals start to get too much liberty desire, and you need to worry about the point where you reach. There's two big major critical points that you reach that are problematic for you in terms of your growth. So the first is reaching the number of states plus territories that's equal to the maximum number of states that you have, right? Now the reason for this, and this is a little bit wrong because of the fact that I have all these down here that are part of trade regions that you wouldn't state up anyway, right? That you wouldn't turn them into states anyway, you're still getting what you want. But once you have enough primary territory to reach the max number of states, any further conquest that you do is not actually that helpful. So the reason that we have 28 here is we've finished up Expansionist, and we are, of course, an empire now. But you start out with substantially fewer than that. So what I basically did was I built up to around this. I got this, and these were new additions later. But I got basically this territory, and then I stopped growing my personal territory and exclusively started working on vassals. But once you start working on the vassals, you then are going to reach another point where you stop being able to grow, which is as these values start increasing. So Golconda, for instance, is much more strong than it needs to be necessarily. It's got 239 total development. That's a huge vassal to keep under control. Now, we're not currently having problems, and we are going to have even fewer problems once we manage to get the additional loyalist recruitment done. And once we finish up the Diplo tree, we're going to have a lot of really nice stuff going for us. It's going to be really nice. But the key is that you have to pay close attention to how big you're letting your vassals get, because they will continuously creep up for the most part in Liberty Desire. So you can see events, provinces, and basically events and giving them territory has a minus 12.8%, which means that these guys would be over the 50% marker, which is the point where your rivals can start causing problems for you pretty quickly. So getting this annex is important. We are currently doing that. But anyway, that's just an important dynamic, because at a certain point, you will reach the point where you have max states for what you can do, but your vassals will also be maxed out to what you can comfortably have them sit at. And that's the point where you've truly maxed out for your current technology level. Once you've reached that, the only expansion you can do is going to be in Africa and in the Americas, right? Now, if you aren't in Asia, then you can also expand in Asia, because there's a lot of stuff there. The other important thing to know, especially for an Asian nation where it's going to become more relevant because you're going to be doing a lot of major expansion in Africa, is you always have to keep an eye on this, because only coastal territory, for the most part, is actually going to be part of a charter. Most of the stuff that isn't on the coast is generally not part of any charter at all. And that causes a problem because you're going to be fighting a lot of nations. You just have to make sure that you don't accidentally integrate a bunch of territory that's not part of one of these charters, because then you're going to get a bunch of extra states. All of this might be completely irrelevant by the time we get to the next, or when we get to the next thing, because they're going to be changing the state mechanic somewhat, or the corruption mechanic at any rate. So, we currently have control of most of the Cape of Good Hope, and what this does for an Indian start is you can see that I only have control, even though I have complete control of this trade node. And not complete control, I guess Golconda has a little bit of this as well. But I have basically complete control over this. I only have 75%. So number 2 is my vassal, Golconda, so they're taking a little bit of my trade power. But there's also people that are pulling the trade power out in Gujarat and Aden and Mewar. Like, there's all these different places, including all these places in Africa. So one thing that you'll note is that nothing is being sent forward to the Cape of Good Hope because all of these nations that were here and stealing trade power from me are gone now. I've taken control completely of the stuff that's in this node, right? We don't have all of the trade power in the node because there's probably something downstream of here that we don't control. Is that true? Who has territory here? Oh, it looks like these guys are out of trade range. That would be my guess. These guys are out of trade range for me, so we will have to take control of a couple little provinces to get control of the rest of this stuff. Yeah, so we can take a little bit more provincial power here. I'm an idiot. That's the wrong place. I'm a dope. Don't mind me. Cape of Good Hope is down here, it turns out. Zanzibar is relevant for a different part. But yes, so for here, we have a lot of control here. We have, I think, 100%. Yep, that's just transfer from traders downstream, 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 and downstream. So we have a couple of key points that are useful for us. So the first is I'm actually gathering trade here, which is having my trade values, but I'm just collecting 3 here. Once we have wiped out all of the other nations from the Ivory Coast node, once we've taken everyone else out, which I guess we're not going to do because Congo is going to continue to exist, but we could, if we wanted, have them transfer trade power to us if we can get our Liberty Desire situation under control. At any rate, if we do that, then we will have a substantially easier situation over the trade routes, and we have the potential to be able to set the Cape of Good Hope as our centralized trade hub. That wasn't something that I was thinking was going to be really feasible for India, but it turns out that you can actually expand so fast if you take expansion and the other thing, that it makes a lot of sense. So I actually didn't give these guys subsidies. I should have done that. I'm an idiot. So we're going to do that now before I forget. So for 60 years, we will give them 4 cots per month. I like to give them a considerable amount so that they're more inclined to use the colonists, because sometimes if you give them just enough for a colonist, they spend the money on something else instead. So you just give them enough money that they can comfortably sit there and spend money. You want them to colonize for themselves. You don't want to colonize for them if you can avoid it. It's just so much more work. Anyway, so the basic gist of how this run is working is, by the time you get to the Age of Absolutism, you can probably conquer all of India. But in addition, you want to take control of some of this other stuff over here. But the basic gist here is you basically need to figure out where you're going to set your primary trade hub, and that might vary from playthrough to playthrough depending on who goes where when, right? Like if you have a problem where there's a lot of Europeans puttering around down in South Africa, what I'm hoping to do is actually close this completely. If I can close this entirely and prevent any Europeans from landing anywhere near here, that'll actually help me a ton. Give me a second, actually. Let's take a look here. So this is Wasteland, right? Yeah. So if I can take this province and then these 3 provinces, it's going to take forever before the Europeans are able to even show up over here. But the other places that I need to take is I need to make sure that I take control of... Did I get all these? I did not get this one. We need to get this one. Once we've taken this and then a few others down here, assuming we're able to do it quickly, which I'm going to actually get right on eventually, we will be able to lock down Southern Africa. And if we can lock this down completely, we should be set, I think. I think once we've got all of this shit we should be pretty much in a position where we can consolidate power over in the in Asia, and it's going to take forever for any Europeans to manage to get over here. Probably another 100 years. That'd be my guess anyway, because they're not typically that aggressive about it, but their incidental, stuff over here will cause problems usually. All right, so looking at our trade situation for India, because the reason that I say India and not the actual nation that I'm playing is because at this point in the game, there's not a huge amount of difference. Because once you... An easy way to think of it is when it comes to expansion, the rate of expansion actually shrinks to a degree as you get really big. It can increase sometimes, but at a certain point, it generally increases and escalates very rapidly up until the point where it basically falls off a cliff because you're starting to hit your upper boundaries. And if you start with a smaller nation, it takes you maybe 10, 15 more years, 20 years to get to the point where you're really expanding as quickly as the larger starting nation would have started. But if you can get a good opening with a small nation, they don't start out that much behind because none of the nations are that big. It doesn't take that long to expand your development. At any rate, so when you're playing as India, you're trying to get certain key things done. Now, bear in mind that I'm not planning on moving my capital into Europe, even though it is strictly beneficial to do so. I don't have any intention on doing any weird shenanigans like that, because it's just not... It's very gamey and not worth it for me, and I'd rather be punished by weird gameplay stuff than take advantage of it. It's because I'm a weirdo. That is a long time. All right, we are going to go ahead and unpause this so that I can... Oh, right, I'm at war, aren't I? I guess I can probably figure out what... Oh, I can't super peace because... All right, well, that's fine. We've taken control of their capital. And do they have forts over here somewhere? It doesn't look like it. Do I want to send all these people forward? I don't necessarily. I'm going to put these guys here, these guys here. I'm going to let my vassals take the little stuff. There's no reason to really suffer the attrition. The attrition isn't really relevant. I'm sitting at basically max manpower. I'm actually not right now because I just built like 20,000 troops. But you'll note that I built 20,000 troops and I have less than 20,000 missing manpower because I'm actually increasing in manpower over the course of this war. So the attrition is something that is relevant to a degree. It's very important sometimes, but if you reach a certain degree of size, attrition only becomes relevant if you're really actively screwing yourself with it. You have to try to have attrition be a problem for you. Again, that is assuming that you are infinitely larger than your enemies, so you're not having to worry about actually fighting any fights. The attrition itself isn't a huge issue, in my experience. So we just lost someone. Oh, shit. Who did we lose? Okay, we lost the royal marriage with you? Is that it? Yes. I don't have a diplomat to send. That's okay, though. So the key is that it says that they're disloyal, but their actual attitude doesn't get changed until the next month. So that's an important element to remember, is that you can quickly set up the next royal marriage before they get a chance to, like, secure their power base and, like, actually start saying, hey, wait a minute, do we actually still want to be part of these people? Okay, where's Damen? There it is. Okay, so we are almost at the point where they will do this, and I don't think we're going to do anything else to them, but that's okay. So who is this? No, this is also Jaipur. I just wasn't paying enough attention. Alright. So unfortunately, they are probably going to win that siege before we're able to take this over, which might make things take a little longer than we'd like. Each of these little provinces that we're taking is having a very, very minor impact overall, but they do have collectively an okay effect. And it looks like this didn't tick, so we have the opportunity, if we so please. We can't actually get there, so it's fine. They're back up to the yellow for some reason. They seem very excited. More people means more taxes. How are you doing? You are completely willing to give me all of my cores back. This is going to be interesting because I decided to do this. It's a little risky business. We will see how it goes. Any coalition to worry about? Nope. Boop. So, let's see. We are losing our claims on 2 different locations. Presumably the locations that we... Yeah, that was completely expected. But we can pay off their debt for them. Get frickin' wrecked. Okay, so paying off their debt is very useful to us, and we've now got basically the most expansion we're going to have until we are ready to integrate Golconda. Once we've integrated Golconda, we can start expanding again. But right now, our vassals are just a little too big for me to be comfortable coring those up. So, let's see here. We've got a little bit going on over here. So we can continue expanding over here. But right now, I think we're done with India. We can continue expanding by... This is Benin, right? Yeah. So we have 1 claim already. Do we want to just declare? I don't think I want to declare. I can't afford the Diplo cost right now. So it's gonna be fine. Unfortunately, supply limits down here are atrociously bad. And let's see, textile manufactory. Give me some of that. And we are all set. So I did end up forcing colonialism rather than doing it by actually getting there quickly enough. It's probably possible to get there fast enough to do it that way, but I did not, so it's just the way it went down. So Golconda is sitting on... Do we want... Can I fabricate a claim on you? So I can actually fabricate claims on them as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building a spy network. And I'm going to start fabricating claims on all this shit so that I can just conquer it and give that to my colonial nation. I'm confused. Okay, so this is a colony. Santa Fe is a colony of Portugal that was conquered by these people somehow? Okay, so these people are currently losing a war against Portugal, almost certainly. Okay, that's good to know. Let's see, what are we going to do? We need 25 to fabricate a claim over here. We took the Benin claim already, right? Yes. I probably only need 2 claims here. The 3rd claim is probably redundant. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to fuse these together. Do I want to build another trade thing? Let's take a look at our trade situation. We've got a pretty decent amount of money coming in. So what do these trade buildings? I don't want them yet. I'm not going to worry about them. I'm going to build more manufactories first. So manufactories have multiple bonuses associated with them. So manufactories increase your local goods produced, which is very, very useful. The only other way to get the base number up like that is to increase your actual production development, and it takes quite a lot to get to that point. So let's see here. What are we doing? I guess we're not doing anything because we don't have anybody to go anywhere. I think we're just going to declare on these guys with only 2 claims. I don't think we need the 3rd claim. So we're going to pop you guys into this boat. And then we have 20 total ships here. These are not cannons. I'm going to get all of the cannons here. And I guess 1 other cavalry. So you get in the boat. And you get in the boat. Okay. And we're just going to drop them off over in Bonnie. We shouldn't have to worry about it because we don't have any chance of having to fight. What? That's not what I wanted. Oh, right, because... Okay, well, I'm an idiot. Let's do this again. So, which ones do we want to merge? Whoops. Okay, the little ones are getting merged. So little ones out. That makes much more sense than the way I was doing it before. I'm sure there's actually a faster way to do that, but it's fine. Boop. So once we're in Bonnie, we can basically just walk in on the Benin army. Benin has quite a lot of allies. Are they allied with Longo? No. So they have a lot of allies here. It's going to be a less than perfect situation here. Because I do not know who they are or what they have, and I'm way too lazy to find out, so... We're going to be fighting a reasonably large fight over a reasonably small amount of territory. Alright. So, we're going to take you out now. Did they just start a war? No. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to have the Conquistador explore all this stuff before I start the war. Or I will not, because my Conquistador will fall over dead randomly. Alright, so we are going to put a new Conquistador in charge. And I guess we could just pull the rest of these guys over here. Now that I think about it. Not really a lot of reason to just sit them around. Alright, how are you doing? You need to be recalled. Do I want to focus on that region, or do I want to focus on getting... I think I need to get this province at the very least. Are they likely to even want this? I'm not super interested in fighting the European powers for the New World and Africa yet. That's not really how I want to go about it. I'd prefer to be able to go after them after a considerable time has passed, when I want to go into Europe itself. But I have concerns about France's positioning right now. Don't think that they can probably reach here quite yet. But I do think that if they do have the ability to reach here, they will be able to go substantially further very quickly. So we're just going to go here. And we're going to get the southern tip of Africa locked down. And once we've locked down the southern tip of Africa, then we can move on. I think that's the best way to handle that. All right, we can go ahead and just declare here. We do have to worry about them just stealing our colony, but that's not a huge problem even. We will have, I guess, Benin be the Morgul. And we're just going to go sit on it. Oh, shit. You know what? Why not? Hey, we reached a new level of army professionals. That's great. Is that the supply depots thing? That might be supply depots. Yeah, so we're just going to pop these guys in here. This is the guy who has siege. That's good. So I have no idea how many people I'm fighting. Let's find out. We have a... Okay. They have a larger army than I thought that there was going to be. How big are their militaries are trash, though. Okay, so this shouldn't be too big of a problem. They're going to have more troops than me, but I'm only taking 2 provinces from them, so it shouldn't be that difficult to actually get that secured, I would think. Unfortunately, they're going to take control of this, and I don't know what they're going to do once they've got it. Do I have a colonist here? Like, I don't know if they're going to seize the colony. Oh, I guess it wouldn't really make that big a difference anyway. From a practical perspective, I just want to prevent the Europeans from getting my colonies, so if these guys took my colony and then they paid for me to have a new colony there, then that wouldn't be a problem for me, actually. I wouldn't really complain too much. And let's see. So we have a new colonist. Do we want to send someone down here to finish cleaning this up? Do you want to send someone? Did we send the person to here already? This tiny, tiny province. I'm so happy that I'm going to have it colonized now, because then it'll actually be a different color. Let's see. We are going to not send someone here because we still don't have access to here. So since we don't have range to get there yet, do we want to instead start working on a different location? Ivory Coast just transfers up to the Cape of Good Hope. So if we want to use... Sorry, the Ivory Coast is the only thing that takes from the Cape of Good Hope. So do we have control of this region right now? We do not. I'm going to send somebody right here. We're going to take control of all but one of these things. Do we want... It's going to take about 2 years to finish colonizing this. I'm actually going to recall this person. Where are my colonies, by the way? These are all the colonies that I have? This is not all of my colonies. Where's my other colony? This doesn't say colonists, it says colonies. So why are... It's because it's occupied? That's very strange. Okay, never mind then. I guess I don't have anywhere to send them if I don't do that, though. You know what? It's fine. We'll pay way more money than we legitimately should and send a colonist here. How long? It's going to take almost a year. So Norway's going to get attacked by Britain. So that's a thing. And do we want to... Yes, I think we do. We're going to take our ships. How many warships do you guys have? They have one warship, so they do actually have a navy, kind of. But yeah, unfortunately, we're probably not going to acquire a huge amount of war score from taking control of this capital. It is a level, it is a forge, so there it does have that going for it. San Antonio has just become self-thingamabobber. So we can go ahead and do Southeast Pacific Sea. And the other thing is that if I want to circumnavigate the globe, at some point I need to send a colonist over to Australia. Once I have a colonist in Australia, I think I'll have an easy time circumnavigating the globe. So there's that. We're just going to chill these guys here until I finish this fight, I think. Alright, so how much do I need to take from you? Boop, boop. So I don't actually need that much more. I'm pretty close to this. I just need to do a little bit of management here. Are they going to lose their whole fleet? They did not. They did not lose their Carrack, which is important. Oh, that's not good. Bengal. Let's go ahead and placate you. Now, we're going to lose quite a lot of prestige to these placations, but that may or may not be okay. You know what? I don't want to do this. Keep this. Okay, I'm actually going to go through this way. And we're getting pretty close to the point where they'll just do it, so... we are not going to have a statesman. That's a problem. I don't like that at all. I don't like that one bit. It also shrinks the speed at which we do that. So we're now, as you can see, we're now going to be starting to hemorrhage prestige if we want to keep these people under control, which is not optimal, but it's not a huge problem, really. Okay, so we've now wiped out their fleet, which should give them a little bit of an extra incentive, but we're not quite there yet. We're just going to take the two provinces. We don't need to take this last province from them. This province isn't terribly relevant. We're going to take the two nice ones and leave them to the rest. This node, this trade node, is... Ooh, Mali. Mali. So we're going to go ahead and fabricate a claim on... this. And we're going to stop building a spy network. That's going to come back eventually. And we're not going to send anyone else yet to do the things. So, oh, that's interesting. They have changed their tune considerably here. Is this this is jungle? This is jungle. They're at some point going to have to try to take this back. Nice queen. Alright, so we're just going to go over here, because we know that there's not that many troops here, because we can see most of their troops. So, with full knowledge of where their troops are, we can... Ooh, do we want to do Spanish Square right now? No, we're going to wait. How much military power am I accumulating per month? I'm getting 10 per month. Oh my god. My ruler's kind of crazy. Okay, so these guys are now going to stand there. We've got this explored now. We are so close. Do we want to actually get involved in a fight? I'm not sure whether these guys will actually help each other. Because this is not... This is a bad idea. Should not have done that. I should have waited until the rest of my troops were going to arrive, at the very least. On the plus side, I do have quite a lot of cannons here, so I should win the fight, but that was silly of me. To fight their entire army for no reason. Luckily, we are past the point where I need to worry too much about that kind of stuff. Again, we're sitting on a situation where we've got a huge lead on basically everyone else. Where's our current thing? So we are the #1 great power. Okay, so we can now do this, and that will result in a little bit of admin power spent on this. And we can assign these to trade companies. Okay. All set. So, oh no. Golconda is causing problems again. We will go ahead and placate them, I guess. Okay. So Bengal is going to come up again soon. We're going to lose some prestige from that. Maybe now is a good time to circumnavigate that globe of ours. It might also be time instead. 40 colonies maintenance? Holy shit. Wow, that got expensive fast. That's really funny. Alright, so we've got this. That's triggered. And we have colonial maintenance of much less now. We are going to go ahead and pick up another manufactory. These manufactories will be useful later. And do we want to get Spanish Square? Yes, we do. We're getting Spanish Square. That should comfortably get these people removed from those lists. Do we have? We do have royal ties with you. So, and we can go with South India. We want a little bit more morale and shock damage, or a little bit more shock defense. Oh, a little bit of both defenses, actually. We're going to go with both defenses over one morale. So, let's see. I mean, clearly she is a goddess, right? Like, I think that's pretty well established at this point. Alright, so we are going to lose a little bit of Diplo power to that. But these, like, increase the stats of your ruler. Hopefully this ruler isn't old. Oh, well, my ruler is super old, so it probably won't help me too much anyway. But whatever. It's fine. So, you... Oh, you're already exploring. Good. Okay, so over here we have a claim on these guys. We're going to go take advantage of that claim right now. Just get that nation annexed, get that territory in for us before the Portuguese take control over it. Portugal is doing Portuguese Brazil anyway is doing very badly, but it looks like the rest of Portugal is doing fine, and that's unfortunate for us. We can't fabricate a claim on you guys, can we? Can I core Cusco? I'm going to build a spy network over here. Let's take a look at my hires. Do I have anybody? Yes, I do. One of the things that I need to do now, probably. How much do we have for colonies maintenance? 20. So yeah, we're gonna let this tick, and we're not going to replace it. Okay. So we're just gonna pop in here, wipe out this army. They actually have a rank 11 military, so they've managed to modernize off of our colonial nation here, or off of Portugal, you know, whoever. So this state here is going to be very sad for us. Okay, so we are going to just, I guess, detach these guys and leave, and detach these guys and leave. That leaves just the general with the cannons. Okay, over here in Asia, what do we have left to do? Anything important? Fortunately, this region is not super wealthy. Alright, that's fine. So we're going to be fully annexing these guys. Ooh. Ooh, take 20 Diplo power. Yay! Convince the... lose 5 Diplo power. Useful. Get them to drop their demands for some money. And there we go. Boop, boop. So we do lose some Diplo power for taking both of these instead of just the one, but that's fine. So we take those. Those are going to be cored by our colonial nation. And we are all set over here. Do we have any other wars that we want to start in Asia? Cusco, how big are you? You don't have any allies, so we're going to go ahead and go war against you. We already have this done. Let's go ahead and explore Pacific South America Sea. And we can start sort of snaking our way around and doing our conquests over here. I do think that I think that it's easy to underestimate how important it is to be doing conquering in the Americas as a Asian nation, but Asian nations do not have a lot of room for expansion, and so I think that it's very important to get your colonial game on, both in Africa, especially in Africa, but also in the Americas. Because even in the Americas, like if you look at South America, you can actually send this to the Ivory Coast, and if you send this to the Ivory Coast, then you are getting some very nice rewards there, because you can just collect trade in the Ivory Coast where you have most of the trade power. So I already have 31% of the trade power. A bunch of this trade power is being sent to Sevilla, and it might be worthwhile for me to consolidate my power a bit. That's what I did. So, once we have a claim on Cusco, we are going to be just conquering in. We might decide. Oh, right, I didn't bring any of my cannons, so that was smart. That was really smart of me. Ming loses 2 stability. Oh, nice! Nice! Ming is collapsing! We've got a Ming explosion on our hands. That's really nice, because a Ming explosion will help us a ton. Alright, so we're going to actually put this guy in charge here, and we're actually just going to... where's the button? Eh. Oh, this is a general. Oops. There we go. Oh, wow, this guy's really good. Alright, so we're going to do Hunt for the 7 Cities, and hopefully we can expand our way into some of this territory here. I'm wondering if I want to vassalize Cusco. National tax modifier 10%. Honoring 2 advisors seems like a good trade. So we can keep exploring the coast. I should have done South America first, but oh well. So we have some unrest over here. We actually have a considerable amount of unrest here. So Benin has... Do we want to just increase the autonomy? Yeah, let's just do that. We're just increasing the autonomy. So we're taking control of some ivory as well, which is nice. Trading in ivory gives you +2 to your diplomatic reputation, which is crazy good. Is crazy. You are going to... Do I want to wait until next... I'm going to pop them to here. Because I figured that will probably get them there at a time during a month, and we'll see whether it's early or late a month. Oh, we got silver. Very nice. So... we have the ability to fabricate a claim on whatever we want here, I think. Yes, we do. So we're going to fabricate a claim on Cusco itself. Do we want to do that? So... do I want to do my standard 3 here? Because I could just fabricate on Cusco. This is such a huge development province. I think I will. I'm going to fabricate a claim on their capital. And then I'm going to fabricate a claim network that goes just straight to it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's silly of me. I don't need their capital. I completely forgot that I'm not in Africa. I don't need claims on big provinces. I need claims on the smallest provinces I can get, because the small provinces I can core quicker. So do I have... well, it's core cheaper anyway. I'll worry about that later. It's not that important. So this is giving us wood now. And how are we doing on... we don't have someone here yet. Or anymore, rather. Okay. So we're just going to extend it. I shouldn't have extended those loans. I should have taken out a bigger loan. So we've got 19 states. We're still sort of going slow. Whoops, that was silly of me. Oops, that's not what I wanted either. Oh, I can upgrade my barks now. That's good to know. Explore. Yes. So, we can explore the coast again, and this will allow us to get some claims on Quito if we want. It looks like Spain is starting to conquer its way through Mexico, which is not great. I'd like to do that myself rather than have them do it. Thank you very much. Oh, and I have an extra trade person. So I'm just going to collect up here. So now I know where that's handled, by the way. It's good to know. So we're going to collect here. We can probably... So we need to core these first. This is interesting. Okay. He'll figure it out. Okay. What else? And so these are... You would think that a guy with as good a stats as this would have a better sense of direction, but it's fine. It's fine. So... What was here? Right, I wanted to look at the colonial region, so... Colonial Peru is... Basically, you have to conquer some territory to form Colonial Peru. Do I want to just spend some admin power? Ooh, early modern administration, 3 states. That's going to be very useful very soon. Oh, right, I didn't actually get these guys in the boats to go to where they need to be. Just put them in Nazca. So, is all of this colonial Peru? No, some of it is colonial Colombia. We're going to, I think, form... We're just going to take 5 provinces and we're going to core them. We're not going to even colonize to get control of this. We are going to just do it manually. I think that's the easiest way to do that. So, let's see here. Do we want to always be running 1 over our limit? I think we do. So we're going to recall this person who is on the most advanced one. And we are going to clean up our situation down here. I actually should be taking more to this, but it's fine. Transport you guys in here. So we're going to basically just fight Cusco, which is now allied with Mapuche, which is interesting. Benton is cored. Yay, cores. So how are we doing over here? Did you arrive yet? Yes. So we're collecting 2 off of this node. That's not too bad at all. Okay, we can invest in loyalist recruitment. Whew. I'm actually going to take this. That seems very useful. Anything really valuable? Not super valuable. The problem is that when I take control of all of these, I'm going to have to basically core them in phases. So I'll have to core Lima, and then I can core these 3, and then once I've cored all 3 of them, then I can for Cusco. But that's okay. Once I've done that, I should be able to get the rest of these things. So we're going to have fabricate a claim on Lima. Then we're going to fabricate a claim on Juarez. I think that'll be enough. We'll get a little bit more than we bargained for here, but not that much more. Uh-oh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Friends, friends. Hey, how's it going? I forgot about you. That is some trouble. Oh boy. Please tell me you're back. You're not back. Oh god. Please don't lose any ships. Please don't lose any ships. Oh my god. 1%. Jeez. Okay, that's totally fine. Alright. So I generally think that it's better to colonize more of the Americas as quickly as possible and get those 5 provinces for each region as quickly as possible. But in this context, I think that you're actually better off not doing that and instead going for Africa. So, like, as an example, so basically, as an Asian country, you want to have just absolute full control over the coast of Africa so that the Europeans can't just pull all of your trade to them. That's like an incredibly important element of like the actual core gameplay. Let's see. So we can take this core back at some point, but we don't need to do it now. Let's see here. These guys do not need to be here either, actually. It's fine though. We don't have a fort to deal with over here. Do I want to just declare and call it a day? Probably not. It's fine. No, we need to insult somebody. We do not have a thing for insulting the Ottomans, so let's go ahead and insult the Ottomans. Where's my insults at? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, we can't insult them. Oh, okay. Well, then, shit. Who do we have an insult ready for? Do we have any other rivals? Is Timurid's a rival of ours? Oh, Ming is a rival of ours, isn't it? We didn't get ahead of Ming, did we? We did. We eclipsed Ming. Shit. Well, damn. I guess we'll just have to wait. What month can we send this? The 9th. By 9th, I mean the 9th of December, which is the actual answer to the question that I was asking. Okay, we're going to go ahead and repay 2 of our loans. So, Colonial Mexico has been formed. That's good to know. Ooh, what kind of revolts are these? Oh, Sunni Zealots. That's an interesting thing for them to have. Oh, because they got rid of the... Oh, shit. Well, this is a problem. Did they declare? Did they declare or did they get declared off? Okay, so that's fine. That's not a problem for us. They'll take this stuff back and we'll all be fine. yeah, basically, it's a slow burn to take control of all this stuff because none of it's connected to the coast. Got early modern administration. Yay for that. And what else do we need to do? So we're still waiting on annexing you. We have how much for this? We need 30. So we'll be ready to declare on Cusco soon. And that'll be useful. I'm not going to be using any vassals or anything over here because I'm just going to directly core things and get myself up. I have so much admin power coming in now, and I don't have anything to use it for, so what we're really limited on is diplomatic power, more so than anything else. So, you guys have been exploring. Do I want to just bring over another army? No, I'm just going to send these guys back. Okay, we're going to send these guys all the way back over to Nazca because we have explored enough for now. Cusco is currently in the middle of a war, and hopefully... Oh, we're up to 30 now. I was expecting that to take longer. So we are going to get a claim here, which is a gold province. There we go. And it's going to take me a while to get back, actually. So I probably should have thought of that before I took so long. But it's fine. We have 18,000 troops. I don't think they have meaningfully more troops than that. It looks like we could just declare now if we wanted. So, Gujarat just declared war on Mewar. That's interesting. And this is potentially going to be trouble, actually. Though it does give me easy casus belli on Huila. Yeah, we're definitely not waiting. Army question mark. This is Africa, not South America. These continents are way too similar geographically. We've got... I can't declare war yet, because if I do, there will be problems. So we're going to wait until these guys get to here, and consolidate them all together. Once they're all consolidated together, then we can pop over here. Can I use threaten war to just take provinces? Now that I think about it. Like, could I just threaten these guys into giving me provinces? I guess I could. I could do the same for probably... I could probably just take one province from each of these guys by just asking for it. Maybe I should just do that. Oh. I can't core Lima. Well, that changes that whole plan entirely. I can't actually core this. So since I can't core this up here, that means that I need to move some of my colonists around. You guys are coming back, and you are going to go as far north as you can. I now have a colonist. Can I send them here? I can. I can send them all the way to here. Okay, we're going to send them to here. So it turns out that we can actually send colonists straight to here, which means that I should just get one colonist down and maybe even just... not go with the conquest route. Because I can get the majority of what I need without even conquering them. Okay, we lost our crappy general, which is so very sad. And how are we doing on you guys? You guys? You can try to circumnavigate the globe, but I don't think that's going to work too well for you. Yeah, if I recall correctly, they're going to circumnavigate the globe by trying to go over to Europe or something, so... They're going to do some weird shit trying to circumnavigate, so I'm not going to worry about them. You guys are going to come to somewhere that you can be useful. I'm going to take back, or not take back, but I'm going to take this core from Valanga. I think that that's an easier solution than anything else. 1 second. There have been some slight kitchen disasters, but that's okay. It might be something that we can recover from, or maybe not. We'll find out. Either way, let's take a look here. We are losing a lot of money to inflation, probably. Yes. Aha! There we go. 2 Diplo skill. Thank you. Oh yeah, I like getting base stacks. I mean, 100 admin is quite a lot for... I think I have a... Oh, we own land in Kutak. That's a problem. What the heck is Kutak? How did the... What? No. They just have a claim on it. We have a frickin' core. What the hell is wrong with you people? Alright, let's see. Unfortunately, we lose some of that prestige that we have picked up from these wars, but that's okay. And let's see. It's going to take close to a year for anybody that I send out to get to where they're supposed to be. Do I want to? Yes, I do. I'm going to recall you. I'm going to send someone here before I forget about it. This is a really important province for me to take control of because it is basically the last bastion before they get down to here. If I can take control of all of this stuff, we should be able to lock them out of here for at least a little while. The colonial range technology improves so rapidly that it's not going to last for very long, but it'll help us for a while. All right. Let's see here. So, interesting. It's interesting. I wonder if the Portuguese Brazil is going to have its religion changed. We are going to improve our relations with our colony here. Our relations with everybody over here are good. It's just that these guys are causing problems for me. So we've got quite a lot of money. Is it better for me to pay off my loans? It's probably better for me to repay my loans than to build those manufactories for right now. Because right now I'm just accumulating unrest or not unrest, I'm accumulating inflation for no reason. So we'll get rid of some of that inflation. And interesting. Yeah, Ming is definitely just completely imploding. Oh, and Japan is actually really weak this game too. Within the first 100 years, we've already got a Ming explosion, and we've got Japan doing, silly things. So, not too shabby for us. Okay, do we want to declare on you? Probably. So, it's so funny though. We don't have any cores from you. Oh, so we don't have our truce ended with them yet. Yeah, we don't have any, casus belli on anyone else. I'm not sure if I really want to go into a war just to take one province. But I guess I probably should, because maybe the French will go after it if I don't. So let's go ahead and reconquer this. Rank 9, 8, 9. Yeah, none of these nations are dangerous enough to cause a problem for me. Who am I at war with? War with Luanga. Ludongo. Oh, whoops. I guess I should probably bring these guys out, huh? Alright, so I think that our vassal could probably handle most of this war on their own right now. Is this? I don't know if this is wasteland or not, so I don't necessarily want to leave. Maybe we want to let. We have plenty of manpower, fine. Not going to run into a problem there. And let's see. We just won the siege of Gabon. That was quick. So we just got that done. Let's. So. Anything else that we need? Our colonists are all actually out already. So we have 2 extras right now. What else do we need? I'm so looking forward to finishing Golconda. I let Golconda get a little too big. I should not have expanded them quite as much as I did. Once I finish integrating Golconda, we can basically just go on a spree over here and just start conquering like mad. And it might even be useful for us if we can find a blockade impact on siege is pretty good. Ship trade power propagation is kind of dull. Institution spread, don't need it. I think I'm gonna... Religious wars is kind of interesting because we're fighting mostly people of other religions. I feel like this is actually really good. We're gonna take this first. It's tempting to get the siege thing, but that helps me win wars a little bit faster, but I think that I win wars probably considerably faster by doing it the other way. So, who else am I at war with? Noop and Cuba. So probably this. No, it can't be because this is... Oh, Noop is over here. I do not have military access, so we can't get these guys to there conveniently. That's fine. Let's see. So they're only allied with 3 nations. So the only other nation that they're allied with is Noop. So... I guess this fleet. Do we have a finger? We do not, but we can get one. Really crappy one. Crappy conquistadors are where it's at. So these guys are just going to head straight into Noop. It turns out that I thought that there was going to be a kind of a larger alliance chain here. Is this not navigable terrain or something? Oh, no, that's a problem. So I actually can't even reach those guys then, probably. But I was thinking when I was starting the annexation of this thing that I would be able to finish up the next rank of the Diplo tree first before it happened, but it turns out that's not what happened because it was a very, very long trip. Or sorry, I have a lot of thinger. So is there a way to get here? It doesn't look like there's a way to get there. So Luongo is offering us peace, but they're never going to offer us to... Wait, what? Oh, right, yeah. Good idea. Boop. And... a Congo. But yeah, I'm not even actually trying to do anything terribly interesting here. I'm just trying to secure the one province. I could try getting more stuff, but it's because of the fact that I've got the Noop folks to worry about. It's easier for me to just fully, you know, control everyone else and then call it a day. So this is all. Oh wow, you can't get anywhere. That's interesting. So much of Africa is like wasteland territory that you can't get into. Okay, so we have this. And do this. I definitely need to take this province. I'm going to take that next, I think. Because this is a really nice one, too. Like, this is something that people will go to as soon as they get the opportunity to. So we always want to run 4, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and send these guys over here. We have a lot of income right now, and that's all great, but we do want to make sure that we are not using all of that money in ways that don't improve our economy. We want to be using all of our money to improve the economy. And do I want to actually get a fifth going? Now that I think about it. I actually feel like this might be time sensitive enough that getting 5 going might be worthwhile. Back to government reform. So we can get royal decree, which gives us increase to our absolutism. Or we can get parliamentarism. Parliament is really nice. I like Parliament. I know that a lot of people do not seem to like Parliament. Let's see. But for my part, I actually really like it because you can get to 100% absolutism without taking royal decree. And production efficiency plus 10% is kind of nice. What is States General? Oh, this is the statist versus monarchist mechanic. That's kind of cool. I don't actually know how this works, though. And since I don't know how it works, that actually makes this, like, sort of optimal to tinker with. This is the perfect time to do it. This disables the nobility completely. You know what? I'm going to go with parliamentarism. I feel like, you know, we should represent the Indian Parliament. So, obviously, you need to have a seat in Parliament here. But yeah, the thing that's interesting about Parliament is that if you fail to debate something... ooh, charter colonies, yes. Yes, please. Okay, so I forgot about that part. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. So how many seats do we need? We need 12 seats in Parliament total. So we're just going to go to our little development thing. Where is the development thing? I don't remember where I put it, so we're just going to look this way. Okay. So, who has good development? I don't have very good development anywhere, actually. A lot of places with kind of mediocre development. Oh, so I can't give anything. Ooh, that's a nice one. Nice one that's controlled by entity, so we can't get rid of them. Forgot about you. Ooh, that's so good. Oh, that's so delicious. Okay. But yeah, there's going to come a point where I'm going to stop having the ability to really win elections, and that's going to be unfortunate. But I think that Parliament is very useful even if you can't win the elections, because you're getting these huge bonuses. If you just give everything a seat in Parliament, you have a Parliament that's completely unmanageable, but you also have a Parliament that is, whatchamacallit, giving you massive improvements to all of your territory. So I really, really like having increased parliamentary stuff. Let's see if there's a significant difference to our total income. Doesn't look like it. Not yet. Okay, so we've got 47 income right now. And what do we need to do? Got colonists here. Got a colonist here. So how many colonies do we have that do not have a colonist? just 1? Do we want 2? We have a lot of income, and if I basically go another 1 over, oh whoops, I guess I should probably be paying more attention to this. At some point, these guys will just give up, and we'll be able to call it a day. I don't really want to send these guys by much. I guess I could just go all the way across Africa if I wanted. So we're going to have 5 colonists running from now on. Well, not from now on. I guess basically just until... Yeah, I'm definitely not going up to 6, because if I go up to 6, that's going to be trouble. Yeah, it probably would have been more efficient, even with the, like, Diplo costs, for me to do this a different way. So... do I have sufficient claims? Army professionalism is basically permanent. Army tradition is continuously deteriorating, so I'd rather lose the tradition. Konda is again causing problems, and they will be done by the time we finish here, so it should be fine. That's good. Oh no, we lost that. That's not good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end that. We now control pretty much the entire South African coast. We just have 1 more province to get, and we will have control of every colonizable province all the way through, which means that none of the Europeans are coming around the Horn of Africa anytime soon. So that's useful, at least. There's a few more provinces in the Ivory Coast to nab if we can. We have Mali, who we want to take some provinces from. Specifically, we want to take this province from them. And we have Jolof as well. So Jolof I can annex in 1 war. I don't know how big Songhai is. Mali is... oh, it was Songhai. I don't... That's... Okay, so we currently have 18% of the trade here. Sevilla is taking a bunch of our trade from here, unfortunately. And my guess is that... yeah, there's a lot of trade that's being sent and held in the Cape of Good Hope because we have so much control here at this point. So we've got 76%. And let's see here. Congo, Jolof, and Ndongo. So we need to annex Ndongo, actually. They're taking 4% of my trade out. Okay, trading in ivory happened again. That's good, because we need that Diplo rep. And let's see here. So, what are we going to do about this situation? We're about to get one less Diplo thing. And, ooh. Do I want to take... This is probably better for now. I already have a perfectly fine +2. It would take 50 months for the other guy to actually pay for the difference in just getting the 50 flat out. While costing me substantially more. Even though he's at half price, he's still going to cost substantially more than a just cheaper advisor. Alright, well, I think that this is, probably an okay position to end things. This gives us a basic idea of what you can do with, I had a fine start, but I don't think it was anything special starting with this nation. Obviously, to get to this point with a small nation, I'm actually going to wait until I get this annexation finished. I'm going to wait for that before I... And so, Bengali pretender rebels, oh no. Well, at some point, they're going to go to the capital. No, they're not, because they're just going to get wiped. Those are some really weak pretender rebels. Holy shit. Alright, do we have any outstanding loans? We do not. No more loans. We're all set there. So now we can just start building more manufactories and call it a day. I really like the manufactories. They're permanent. They give really huge bonuses. And I think that they are absolutely going to be a big deal for me. So, V-War is in the process of getting crushed. Do I have permanent claims anywhere right now? Not really, but I do have temporary claims. So Malwa is... I don't have anything meaningful for them either. Alright, so what are my missions right now? It looks like I don't have... I don't have any missions that will help me finish up my achievements. So I'm going to have to actually do this shit manually, it looks like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish up here soon. And we're going to need some claims. So we're going to get claims on who with what. I think that the next place to take control over is going to have to be Gujarat. Gujarat is currently where I need the most expansion. So I have claims from Idar. It looks like they are allied with the Timurids, which is a bit of a problem because that's like a lot of work. This whole just massive swarm of armies here and just not using them at all. Alternatively, does Kalinjar have a bunch of claims? They have some cores in Jaunpur that I could take. If I were to declare on Jaunpur again, we have only one claim right now. They're allied with Punjab. So, that's interesting. Oh, Orissa exists. I forgot about Orissa completely. So, I could take Bengal Delta for myself and then just give it to Bengal. And I completely forgot Orissa existed. I'm such a dope. Alright. Can I do... So who are you? You're only allied with one entity. That's useful for me. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about you right now. I do do not have a good enough reputation to just vassalize them outright. Nor do I think that's necessarily how I want to expand right now. Right now I need to start using some admin power if I can. And so we are going to just go for it. I don't think we have any real reason not to. I guess there's the problem that right now... Actually, do we have anything? So this is Kachar, we can take that. The Hajo is right here. Is this currently under siege? I don't think so. So... Okay, let's try this. I don't even remember who the other ally is. It doesn't really matter. So we're gonna go like this. And we're going to... We're not going to merge these exactly, but we are going to send these guys up here and have these guys follow their path exactly. So they're not quite on top of each other, but they're basically going to be together. So it looks like these guys are sieging this, question mark? Yes, they are. So these guys are sieging, which means bad things for me. Whoa, what are all these places? Oh, right, these are a bunch of temporary claims. Oh, crap. Need to use some military power. I guess we'll just hire some generals. Hire one general to get that +1 to professionalism, and then we'll hang out for a while. I'm probably going to use some business here. Okay, so Chakla is one of the places we needed to take. We also need to take you, I think. Nope, we don't need this. Okay, these guys are actually going to siege this province, probably. Yep, they are. So, who are they at war with? Chitor. So Mala is actually like attacking someone else entirely. So hopefully we can basically get them to peace out without giving up any territory to any of these people. I think that these guys don't have any like dangerous things for me to worry about, really. Okay, I have to take this fort before I can take the other fort. And we're all set. 98.8%. So we're going to finish this, and ooh, we are at a very good place right now. We have enough for that. Let's see. But yeah, I'm hoping that Orissa will just peace out. Why am I not sieging this? Okay, I am sieging it. It's just confused. How are these pretender rebels still around? Jesus. Come on, guys. Okay, you know what? We're gonna get this random idiot in charge of this, and you guys are going to go blow up this army. And that will actually make our vassal a little bit happier with us. Which is always useful, I guess. Oh, these guys managed to get over here. Cool. And we found Kumon. So that's cool. So we need to take this, and we need... I'm an idiot, actually. I pressed the wrong button. Hey! Holy shit, I got an achievement for that. I've never actually done that before? That's funny. I guess I've never really played as Vijayanagar before. So, let's see here. I got an achievement called Tale of Two Families. Achievements are up here. And that is... Whoop, starting as Vijayanagar Bahmanis, conquer the other's capital and have them not exist. So, apparently conquer in this context means that you have to actually take it personally. You can't have a vassal controlling it. So, how many new states do I have? Do I have any new states? That's weird. Okay, so there we go. There's a new state. Look at that. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that. 5? Oh. Oh. Oh, boy. We just got super rich super fast. Do we want to do North Telangana? No. That's 14 development. 14 development is not actually that bad for a lot of nations, but if you're in India, you can do better. You can do better. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and this, and this. Okay, so we are done with putting out new states, and we have successfully done this business. So Orissa, Kathmandu, and these other places. Are you still? Jesus, you are still around. Do not want that. Ouch. Okay, I wasn't expecting a stability loss. Alright. Okay. How are we doing? We have 30 here. I need to get rid of some of this military power. I guess it's just time to hire some more general. Let's see if any of them are the perfect model modern major general. The answer to that is no. They're all pretty trash, actually. Alright, so get rid of them, and moving right along. So, we've got a successful siege there. We cannot take the provinces that we need until they have peaced out with the other nation. And the other nation, as far as I can tell, I don't think they should have a lot of reason to hold on to them for a long period of time. Ooh. That's nice. Okay, so we have... Which one was it that was green? None of them. Okay. So we're going to take you, and we're going to recall you, and send somebody to finish out this control. So now we have perfect control over like most of southern Africa. We have a couple of provinces in the Ivory Coast that we did not take. We have one here and one. Yeah, there's like basically nothing to use as a stepping stone against us, which is very nice. So who is this? Oh, actually, what can I do to you? I could make you my vassal if I wanted. Are you a useful vassal? Oh? I have some claims on Jaunpur if I do this. And unfortunately, because I'm a dope, I declared for mine instead of theirs, which means that I can't use I can't use their claims, I don't think. Wait, what? Tripura just got released. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. So I can demand this. So, oh wow. So Orissa be shrunk. So if I give this to, oh, I'm not occupying it. I don't think it'll matter. I don't think giving them control of it will actually help me any. Okay, so you, is there anything I want to do with you? I think I want you. Oh, I can't piece you out? Okay. You, I can just piece out now. I don't think I want to vassalize them by force. I think that's a silly way to handle things. So we're going to do this, have them give me all their money and transfer their trade power. Gives me a nice long truce with them. I like long truces with people who I'm not going to be going to war with again anytime soon, because it prevents them from joining coalitions against me, and it also increases the benefit of things like war reparations, because those things last until the end of the truce. So the bigger the thing, the bigger the amount of money you get. So we've got -2 to national unrest, not too shabby. And boop. So what do we want to do with you? Give this to Bengal. Yeah, this still costs me stuff because reasons that are dumb. Okay, so I'm actually going to take this for myself right now. I'm going to keep this. And what do I want to do? Because I only have the one province that I can take for myself. Oh, I can have them revoke all their cores. I like that. And pay me war reparations and transfer trade power. That's what we're doing. I don't need to go in on them quickly, because who cares? So Pegu is allied with quite a few people. So how are we doing in terms of our vassal size? Vassal size is very, very manageable now. Bengal itself is a little big for its britches, but Gujarat has embraced colonialism. That is interesting. Certainly took them a while. And, okay, we're going to probably just wait until we've got this on lockdown. Once we've gotten this, we should have, I think, 100%. Okay, we just lost our explorer. And once we've got this stuff settled, we're actually in really good shape. Because once this is settled, we don't have anything else that's super time critical. Everything that we do over here, the faster we get like these colonies done, the faster we get a lot of work done in all these various areas, the better we can fight against the Europeans. But if we're being honest, right now, I'm really terrifying, and Spain is not that scary. So doing things like going in against Portugal are going to be a lot easier, because Austria is not going to be any use to them. And if I can take a little bit of a chunk out of places like Portugal, that can go a very long way because they're so tiny. Portugal is a very small nation. It just has very big colonial assets. So, why can't I? Oh, okay. Okay, so we are ready to peace out with these guys. We will take one province from them, which we will immediately just hand over to Bengal. But in the process, we have also done some other stuff. Are we going to just hand this to Bengal? Or are we going to core it? We're going to hand it to Bengal. We don't need it ourselves. So Bengal is going to be granted the Bengal Delta. And there we go. So we are all set. So I think that we're probably just going to end things here for right now. Basically, what is next on the agenda is we need to get ourselves up to the 31 state mark ourselves. So that's like things that we personally control. Part of how we're going to do that is we're probably going to... we actually could try annexing Bengal. Bengal might be a good idea. If we annex Bengal, then we can get another vassal over here somewhere. That gives us more control over these provinces, but more importantly, Bengal is dense. If you look at these states, this state on its own is 38 production. We've got huge states here. Whereas if you look over here, this state is pretty big. We've actually already got this state. So we're getting one useless state if we take this, but we're actually getting only one useless state. And so I guess, yes, we should do Jharkhand next, because we get one mid-sized, decent-sized state, and then we also get, we finish up a state that we already have, and we get a useless territory that we're not even going to state. So I guess Jharkhand is going to be next, so we'll start improving our relations with them so I don't forget. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Next time I'm going to try to make a video at some point about how to do sort of like a startup in India with the current patches and how that all operates, because I do think that this is working very well. I'm basically like a really major world power at this point. If I went to war with the Portuguese and stuff like that, I would have to prepare for that. I would have to build some ships and stuff for that. But I have sufficient money that I could just build 20 carracks and call it a day. So I think that we could do a pretty good job fighting against the colonial powers, and we're just getting started because we have only taken control of about half of it, India. We are at the point now where we can take full control over all of India. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. So thank you for watching. It has been a pleasure streaming for you today, and I hope to see y'all again next time.